was sitting in the car waiting on one of my descendants, so I thought now would be a good time to make a video. The last poll that I did asking y'all what type of video y'all preferred that I do next, y'all voted a frugality video. So I am going to tell y'all how I make my frugality fun, how I make my finances, my bill paying, my home accounting fun. Number one, I'm the CEO of my home accounting system. I get to do it any way I want. I call the shots. I've always wanted to be a supervisor or a manager or a business owner, but I've never been any of the above. But I am the CEO of my home accounting system, and I actually enjoy doing it. And accounting was one of my favorite subjects when I was in school, and I still use some of the practices that I learned in accounting. But that was a long time ago. That was manual accounting. And even if you've never had an accounting class, it's not rocket science. It's really easy. Number two, I have a pretty home accounting book. I have pretty colored pens. It's got tabs, it's organized, it's pretty, and I love it. And I just enjoy working my home accounting. And another thing you can do, if you can, is if you have a table or a desk that you can sit out to do it at, you can have flowers or a plant, you can have coffee or the beverage of your choice. And if you can just block out a certain time or a certain day of the week or of the month that you can just sit there and do your home accounting. Number three, remember that you are unique and you can do this any way you want. You don't have to get anybody's permission. You can be as eccentric as you want, or you can be as plain Jane as you want. Now, I would recommend that the system that you choose is simple so that it's easier to keep track of everything, but you can be eccentric but still be simple. And like I said, just do it your way. Number four, you need to make a budget or some type of a system. I like to call mine boundaries. But you do need to make it and you need to work it. Now, creating a budget is the fun part. That's the easy part. The hard part can be actually working that budget. But you do need to do more than just plan it. You have to actually do it. Like, for example, a good analogy would be, let's say you're having problems in a relationship, and so you go and buy all these books about relationships, about fixing relationships, and you bring them in your house, but you never read the books, and you wonder why your relationship never got fixed. You have to do more than just buy the books. You actually have to read the books and then do what the books say. So same thing with the budget. You've got to do more than just create a budget or use a budget that someone else created. You've got to actually work it. It's not going to work itself. Number five, I prefer to use cash only for small purchases and debit card for big purchases. Now, I know everybody is different. Like I said earlier, we're unique and we get to do it our way. Some people prefer debit card for small purchases. But whichever one you choose, that's the one you need to stick with. If you choose cash only, then that's what you need to use. I would recommend putting aside a little bit of money each month for big items. I guess you could call that a sinking fund, because you never know when a big item is going to come up. You might have to save up for a big item, and you might even have to save up for a small item. And my cash envelope system, the cash rolls over. to the next month, whatever is not spent. Now, I know some people have categories for their cash envelope systems, and I used to, but now I just have one big category. That's what's easiest for me, but you do what's easiest for you. And I would make a list of all the things you need or want, and then whenever you go to the store, once a month, once a week, twice a month, or however often you go, you can get the things that are on that list. And if you have enough of the big items and you have enough money saved up, then you can get that as well. But making a list, putting it on a list, keeps us from impulse buying. Because if it's on that list for a while, you might change your mind. Number 6 is Bella. I know I've talked about her so many times. That's not her real name, but she is a person who makes minimum wage and raises her child by herself, and she looks like $1 million. She manages her finances so perfectly, and everything in her house is so perfect. She never complains. She never asks for anything. She just does everything in pleasure, and she's so positive. And I want to be just like Bella. Number 7 is to have plenty of self-care. Now, I know everybody's personality is different, and some people might not need a whole lot of self-care, but I do think that's why some people are so cranky, because they don't get enough self-care. So whatever you like to do, I like to read, I like to take walks, things like that that are cheap or free. Every once in a while, I like to go play mini golf, or go be a kid, or just whatever you like to do. Or just go take a walk out in nature and get away from it all, whatever you like to do. And number 8, remember that finances and home accounting is not rocket science, but making it fun might be more rocket science. So we want to make it fun and just be happy and positive.